Welcome back. We are in Khan Academy in Algebra 1 in the unit Quadratic Functions and Equations. This video is going to go over the skill quadratics by taking square roots intro. So here's the question. Find the zeros of the function. Write the smaller solution first and the larger solution second. Here's our function. G of x equals 4x squared minus 484. So to solve this equation, like any equation, you need to rearrange so that you have x isolated and everything else on the other side of the equation. And they want the zeros of the function, which means where is g of x equal to 0. So we have 0 equals 4x squared minus 484. Now x only appears in one of our terms, so we want to move everything that's not part of this term to the other side of the equation. So we'll add 484. If it works for me. It's not working for me. Let's do that on the whiteboard, shall we? 484 equals 4x squared. Then we want x alone, so we have to undo multiplying by 4. Divide both of these sides of the equation by 4, and we get 121 equals x squared. Now, to find x, you would take the square root, because the square root is the inverse operation of squaring. So, square root of x squared equals the square root of 121. But you have to be careful at that step. There are actually two numbers that are solutions to this equation, because if you square a number, it always becomes positive. In other words, one of the solutions is a positive number times itself, that gives you 121, and the other one is a negative number times itself. A negative times a negative is a positive. So, at this point, when we take the square root of both sides, we need to have two answers, plus or minus the square root of 121. Okay, square root of x squared is x, so x is plus or minus 11, because 11 is the square root of 121. So there's actually two answers. This could be written x equals plus or minus 11, or it could be written x equals negative 11 or 11. And so those are our two solutions. The smaller one is the negative number. And the larger x solution is positive 11. All right, next question. 6x plus 1 equals 487. Again, this is a quadratic expression, but it has no middle term. It doesn't have some number of x's. It has x squareds and it has a constant. And when it's in that form, we can solve in the way we just did, where we rearrange so x is by itself, and it's going to involve taking a square root at some point. So, we want the 1 not to be on the left side, so we'll subtract 1 from both sides. That gives us 6x squared equals 486. We want to divide both sides by 6. Give us x squared equals 6 goes into 48, 8 times. And then 1. So x squared equals 81. Take the square root of both sides and you get x equals plus or minus 9. Negative 9 is the smaller number. 9 is the larger number. All right, find the zeros. So when f of x equals 0, what must x be? Well, 20 to both sides. We get 5x squared equals 20. Flip-flop the sides of the equation, that's all right. Divide by 5 gives us x squared equals 4. There are two solutions to that. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, or 2 times 2 is 4. Negative 2 is the smaller. Positive 2 is the larger. Last one, if we take away 3 from both sides, we get 5x squared equals 80. Divide by 5, that's x squared equals 16. There are two solutions to that, negative 4 and 4. And we're done.